Hello, hello, and welcome everybody to the S7R Toyota GR Cup. I'm your host, Tati, aka E Dirty Tati, and I'm joined once again by Hovercraft. What's up, Hover?
What's up, Toddy? I'm doing good this evening. I hope all of our viewers are too. And yep, we're back with the Toyota Cup tonight.
Yeah, super exciting. It's been a couple of weeks since the last round. Looking forward to this one. We're at a great track. I love Deep Forest. I don't know if that's one of your favorites, but I mean, Deep Forest for me can do no wrong, ever.
It is a classic racetrack for the GT community. I think it appeared first in GT 1 or 2. I forget. I wasn't around when those games came out, but
GT1. It's definitely OG.
Yep, it's a very classic racetrack, and it was remade, and it went into the launch tracks for GT7. So hopefully, we're going to be looking at a very good race tonight.
I think we will. Two races. We have one in reverse, with the track in reverse rather, and one going forward. So I think this track presents unique challenges either way. And I think people are pretty familiar with it. So it should breed for like really good racing because people like kind of know what they're doing around here. Taking a look at the schedule, you can see where we are in the championship. We're nearing the end, y'all. This is round 9 of 12. Just 3 more rounds after this to determine the championships. And we still have some that are, definitely up in the air. Nobody has clinched. I'm not sure that anybody is close to clinching just yet here. Hover, do you mind reading out the series rules? Kind of an overview here.
Well, of course, I'm just going to go over this very lightly because we'll see the individual race rules pretty soon. But as you guys know, this Toyota Cup has featured a different variety of cars. Tonight, we will see the GR Corolla and then the Group 3s in the feature race. In the first round, we'll see normal qualifying, but in the second round, we'll see a reverse grid from 1 to 7, or positions 1 to 7. And then some of the settings are very normal. Light damage, slipstream is to normal. We will see different tire wear and fuel wear usages between the two races, though.
Yes. Should be fun to see how both races go on the same track, just backwards and forwards, different rules. Driver lineups. Tonight, we are concerned only with the pro drivers in this stream. We've got Rider 15, Wid C, R.A. Shred, A. Dezob, Jeffrey GT97, S7R's Ando, The Truth Serum, and Rusty Maggots, Corridor 71, S. Laidler, S7R's Stig Xander, NVR Hot Air, MMR Moose, MMR Oak, and GIKP Wilcox are our pro drivers. I'll go ahead and read out the standings as well. I'll try to save my co-host voice here. After round 8, our standings are as follows. You got Wid up top with 356 points. Shred is behind him with 318 points in second place. Ryder's in third, aka Yagami, by the way, that's Ryder, with 299 points. In fourth, we have Rusty Maggots with 286 points. The Truth Serum takes fifth with 262 points. AMS Super S2K, the newcomer that has been climbing up the ranks, has made his way up to sixth with 236 points. Ando sits in seventh place with 234 points. Jeffrey GT97 is in eighth with 234 points. In ninth, we're looking at NVR Hot Air with 227 points. 10th place, you got Stig Xander with 214 points. Corridor is in 11th with 188 points. We got Alicos in 12th with 147 points. Asriel 222 in 13th with 89 points. In 14th, S7R Higher with 78 points. In 15th, MMR's Moose sits with 65 points. Jorge Sr. of PHG is in 16th with 62 points. Oak is in 17th with 60 points. Dezob is in 18th with 50 points. In 19th, we've got GIKP Wilcox with 45 points. In 20th, S. Laidler with 31 points. In 21st, Rhymed Spree 39 with 26 points. And in 22nd is S7R Greasy. Why don't you take care of the team lineups for us, Hover?
Of course, as you see here, we have first off the first three S7R teams, and those Arsenal, Truce Demons, and then Xander Zone, and of course the first FFR team, Black. We'll see the points a little bit later. And then of course the second FFR team, Team Orange, Chicane Bang, which of course is the combination between RWB and TT.
Let's
And of
also say
course
thank you to our sponsors, Trails and Custom Construction. Hook them, they can hook you up with any with help with any custom construction project you might have, whether it's just a deck or whole home. They got you covered. And you can check out all of these races after they've gone live on Sector 7 Racing's YouTube channel. Hover, I didn't mean to keep cutting you off. We're gonna get smoother at that. You know, we're gonna figure that out. Now that we're 9 races into the season, you think we do better than this? But anyway, you know, I don't know why it didn't hit me, but I just did commentary on races at Deep Forest just yesterday with NRL. We did Deep Forest and reverse there as well. So more
Oh,
fun
really?
here. Yes. Yes.
Oh, could you go a little bit deeper into what NRL is for the viewers that don't know?
Why wouldn't anybody know? It's literally the most famous racing league in all of sim racing history. I'm so confused. The NRL stands for the Naughty Racing League. It is started and run by our very own McNaughty, who is producing this show as well. And if you come to this channel here next Friday night, starting at, I believe, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and also Saturday at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, you will see some of the absolute best racing in this game that you have ever seen. And so I encourage you to check that out. You can find more information at mcnaughty.gg.
Yep, for anyone following the series, you will definitely recognize some of the names. Obviously, you know, for example, Wid and Jeffrey are both competing in both series. So, you know, there's plenty of long time standing drivers to root for in both series. So I think it's definitely worth anyone's interest to go out and support McNally's own series.
That's right. That's right. All right. We've given some love to NRL. It's time to give that love right back to the GR Cup. Let's see. Let's get on track actually, so we can take a look at the cars and their liveries. Everyone's in the same car, so the only thing you can really do is have a different livery. I feel like people don't talk about liveries enough.
I think you're right, especially considering, you know, deliveries give you at least a second per lap. Well, that's what the rumors say.
Exactly, exactly. The best livery in the field is always the fastest car. Everyone knows that. And so, you know, drivers work really, really hard to get their livery just right. Or, you know, a lot of times you have one person on the team that does deliveries for everyone. I lean on that person. I can't make a livery to save my life.
Me neither.
I made one cool one time. It was for World Cup actually. No, it wasn't for World Cup, but it was a GT Champion Series. I remember it was for the BMW M6. Had a good time there. We're looking at Wid on track right now, just getting some practice laps in that S7R GR Corolla. About time that guy became an official member of the team. We love Wid. He's pretty quick, and he is dominating the championship right now, but obviously has been in danger for the last few races from that AMS Super S2K guy. Hover, is it mathematically possible for Super S2K to take the championship?
I have no idea, Toddy, but for the viewers, I'm gonna say it is so we can build up some tension.
Yes, guys,
uh,
that's right. It is 100% possible. Don't go look it up. It doesn't matter. And he's on the hunt.
it is a bit difficult to say because the drop rounds have to be calculated in. I want to say it's still possible, but it's going to be very difficult, and Wid will have to have one or two bad rounds from here to the end of the championship.
That's right. That's right. I don't think he's going to be able to do it if Wit is, you know, as good as he has been. It would have to be a couple of bad rounds. But man, talk about coming out of nowhere this driver. I can't remember which round he first joined in, but I think were we at or past the halfway mark of the season or something like that. He's already made his way to sixth place in the championship. It's kind of crazy.
Absolutely, he's been a very much unexpected surprise for everyone here, but it's been very fun watching his journey going into the second half of the season. And yeah, he definitely puts Wid on his edge. So even if he doesn't win the championship, I say they have a very good rivalry, and obviously they respect one another.
Yeah, yeah. So far, they've been really great together in racing. No incidents, no issues like that. Love to see it. The guy we were just looking at there, Shred, who just stepped in the pits. Actually, I think we got reset, meaning quality's about to start. But Shred sits in second place in the championship, and he's been kind of up and down, but obviously there enough and consistent enough that he does sit not too far behind Wid in the championship standings. So Shred is also definitely one to watch for the overall win. Definitely can't count him out.
Absolutely, he's as you said, he's had one or two rounds that may have not been executed as well as he had hoped. But yeah, I mean, he's still in this championship. He's, as you said, he's the closest to Wid so far. And yeah, he's definitely, for Wid at least, he definitely needs to make sure he at least keeps his consistency up. He can't let one or two rounds kind of just go to the wayside because he doesn't feel like it.
Agreed.
Sure.
Yeah, no, he's got no breathing room. Shred's right there.
Absolutely, yeah. Wid has to stay on his toes and make sure that, he doesn't have to win necessarily, I think, every race to beat Shred, but he does need to, not finish last or anything like that, right? He needs to keep himself honest.
Yep, that's right. We got a little bit of lag in the lobby here, which might affect racing. I mean, these are street cars. We're expecting to be able to go door to door and touch mirrors and touch bumpers, but if everyone's kind of moving around, it does make it a little bit hard to trust where the car is next to you. I think that's going to affect the racing for sure, unless it's just us here. But I doubt it's just us. It's got to do more with the servers or the hosts.
Yeah, there's been a few odd things happening this past weekend. Not only has this seems to be a problem, though I think it will sell itself out relatively soon. But other leagues like NRL and IRO had some weird things going on with their lobbies, so I don't know what's happening with the GT7 servers, but it could be the release of Battlefield 6. That game has like 2 million players right now, so maybe the servers are affecting GT7. But hopefully everything will settle out right by the end of the race. So, yeah.
Could be. Hopefully, yeah, it does settle up. And you're right, it has been all weekend long with the server issues. I haven't played any other online games, so I don't know if anyone else has been experiencing issues, but it does feel good to blame Battlefield 6. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's just do it. You see a lot of cars here, sort of bunched up. I would think they'd be a little bit closer to one another, but everyone just trying to get what slipstream they can on the two very long straights on this track. And these cars, the dirty air doesn't really bother them much, so it definitely behooves you to get in that slipstream and just remember to brake early at the corner at the end of the straight. But unfortunately, the person at the front of the line won't get any sort of boost to their lap time. Any predictions for I don't know, let's say the top three times?
Top three times, I think we'll see Wade, Super, and Ryagami take up the first three spots. I think more interesting is during the race, I think these cars notoriously have some very strange braking applications, especially with the rear end wanting to break loose with these sports softs. So I think, especially going into turn one during the race, we may see one or two accidental crashes just because someone brakes a little bit too hard. As I say that, Super S2K is doing everything he can to get into that slipstream onto the straight. It's worth at least 2-3 tenths on a fast lap alone.
It is, and you need every tenth that you can get when you have like Wid, Ryder, and Shred also like on their P's and Q's. We're with Ryder right now. That is AMS Super S2K behind him, who right now has the fastest lap, the 139 flat for him. Ryder, of course, is sitting in fourth place. Ooh, that is the Stig having a moment in 10th place there in the in the wall. I think we just saw him in the wall. I hope he's not disconnected or anything like that. Let me see. Where are you? Oh, he's starting over. Must have touched the wall. That was bad. He went straight, which is not where you want to be. Ooh, nice four-wheel drift for both drivers, both Ryder and S2K right there through the S's. Man, that is such a fun section to get right in a street car. I can't say that I could have made that as pretty as they just did.
Absolutely. As we say that, Wood gets a 1 second penalty behind Jeff or not Jeffrey and Rusty, so he goes back into the pits and is gonna go to try again. I think Rusty also abandoned his hot lap as well.
Got it. Yeah, I did see Rusty in there right now. Shred sits a little over half a second slower than Super S2K in third place. So I think there's a lot of wiggle room there for somebody to come in and put him further down the order. So obviously he's going to want to go flying on this lap that he's just started here. In fact, why don't we maybe bumper cam this lap coming to that hairpin here, which is so different going backwards than forwards because it's I don't know, it's uphill, so the braking and turning for it is way easier than the other way around, I find.
No, you're right. Especially kind of, going the other way around, you were just constantly going for these medium to high speed corners. So getting immediately interrupted with a slow speed catches out some people. But this car does make, as much as it's an easier corner in theory, this car doesn't make it anywhere near easy due to how rough those brakes are. So, yeah, the rear end just wants to enter the corner first compared to the front.
Right, right. That's a higher place who's just gone wide in that corner there. Maybe was just letting him through, saying, "Hey, I'm not on a fast lap. You go ahead." Clearly, Shred is on a tear here. We're watching him come through the final corners of the lap, a very technical section to end the lap here. And then this last corner, gonna apex that late and get on that gas as soon as possible. This is an all-wheel drive car, so you are able to get on the gas a little bit quicker than you might in a rear-wheel drive car, but then you got to be careful of the understeer. And he does not improve his time with that lap. He's not too far off his fastest, but no improvement, unfortunately. I'm surprised that no one has slotted in between. Like, there are 4/10ths between Super S2K and Wid. Like, where are Ryder? Where is Shred? Even Rusty could probably get in there. I'm surprised that Wid hasn't picked it up, but he's about halfway through a lap here. Just slammed into the wall, so that probably won't be faster.
Yeah, probably not very conducive to fast lap times. But as I say that, fifth to ninth is all within 2/10 of one another. So that little mid pack, the midfield is very competitive to one another.
Nice.
As I say that, I think no Stig. Well, Stig is getting a little bit closer, only 2/10 away from ninth.
Yep.
But yeah, that midfield is very competitive.
Well, that's going to be exciting to watch. This is one of those tracks where if you have similar times, you tend to have close racing the entire time, unless you have some big incident. Not that that's not possible here. Definitely is. That hairpin can catch you out. Those S's can catch you out. Either set of S's on the track here can catch you, but 8.5 minutes in, we still have drivers going even faster. Super S2K just set the bar even further up with a 138.663 now. The Truth Serum improving his time as well. So these guys are not done. We might see some more folks jump into the pit to see if maybe they can catch an out lap and a hot lap. Though I think it might be too late. Yeah, it's too late. Super S2K is in for the session. Happy with his time. It's got half a second on Wid. Where is Wid? Is it the last corner?
No,
No,
this is the
final
second
corner.
corner.
Got it. So we will wait with bated breath to see where Wid ends up. And of course, Shred as well, who is on the back straight. So Wid will cross the line first.
He may have one more lap, depending on if he gets to that line before the 10-minute mark. It's going to be close, but I think he
It
can
will
do
be
it.
close. Yeah, yeah. Truth goes faster again, but still in seventh place. Right behind Rusty Maggot. So you're right, it's hard for these drivers to get out of that mid pack. They're all really close to one another. I think it's like kind of easy to get the maximum out of this car. So it's hard to make huge jumps and strides in time if you know the car, which by this point, we've had several rounds of driving this car. These drivers should know this car and what it can do. Wid has crossed the line, but no improvement in his time. Shred is about to cross now and will not get another lap. There's the checker. No improvement for Shred, but Wid does have another chance to go around. And if those tires aren't too overheated, we could still see an upset here. Behind him, looks like Ryder's done. Hot Air's done. I think everyone else is going to be done. Here's Rusty with a half-second penalty. He seems to be going quick, but that half-second penalty means this lap couldn't possibly be an improvement. Truth is done. Jeffrey's done. Higher places in the pits. So the Stig is on a flyer here. Here he comes on the last corner. Let's see where he ends up. Nice and neat through there. Good apex. This exit is absolutely crucial in this car. What are you gonna give us, Stig? He jumps up to 5th place from 10th. Whoa, with the last minute upset for Stig, knocking everyone else down. Corridor is, I think, done. So let's check with Wid here because he should, yep, he's in the final corner now. What's he gonna do? His best time so far hasn't been enough. It's not even a 138. And he is going to drop a 138 this time. He gets, no, he doesn't actually. Sorry, it's a 139.1. So he does get closer, but not close enough. It barely moves the needle, actually. So Win will sit in second place behind AMS Super S2K. We'll take a look at the full classified qualifying results in just one moment here when this timer runs out. Man, way to go, Stig. That was awesome. So we got AMS Super S2K in first place with a 138.6, the only driver to hit the 138s, and he got way in there. S7R Wid will be in second place with a 139.1. Shreds in third with a 139.3. Ryder in fourth with a 139.4. Coming in fifth place is the Stig with that last minute 139.8. Just hooked it up. At 139.9, you've got NVR's Hot Air in sixth place. In seventh, we're looking at Rusty Maggots with a 139.9, and then the Truth Serum in eighth with a 139.9 as well. Very close between those two. Jeffrey sits in ninth place with a 139.9, a higher place with a 140 flat, and then Corridor is in 11th with a 140.3. Now, who did you say are the absolute closest? What's that, fifth through ninth, was it?
Yeah, fifth through ninth is like, I think it's from, yeah, it's within 2/10. They all qualified within 2/10. So
They did.
this battle for the best of the rest, if you want to call it that, is going to be really intense in the sprint race, and hopefully that transfers over to the feature race later on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Stig's not too far behind Ryder in pace, though. I think we're going to see those top four maybe run away with it just a little bit. I am very interested in the battle at the top, but we'll wait until the race starts. Hey, that Camaro is familiar. I've seen that car before. You guys can't see it. We're on the host screen. My bad. My bad. However, predictions for this race, I think we've already talked about them, but I mean, we're not expecting any weather that I can
Nope.
think of. This is just the sprint race. So this should be like superlative, right? I'm expecting bumper to bumper action, lots of positional changes. There are so many fun places to pass on this track and so many fun places that you should not pass that people are going to do anyway. Um
No, you're right. I think we're gonna see a mad dash to whoever gets into that first hairpin first. And then after that, that mid pack is gonna get very dangerous. As I say that, we're about to start this race actually.
yes, we are. Let me make sure that we can see all the things. And they are off. Good start there. Witt's car jumped a little, it looked like, but that doesn't seem possible in actuality. Everyone with about the same start there. Got some jockey for position as we head towards that first hairpin, the first kink coming towards the hairpin, actually. And this is going to make or break some drivers, of course, because you don't want to lose the slipstream first thing in the race. And this is where you would lose it if you mess up. Ooh, Shred, just very, very wide out there, but I don't think he hit anything. I don't think there's anything wrong with his car. I think he's fine. Maybe lag made it look worse than it did, but everyone's still nice and bunched up. Everyone is still in the pack, though Shred sits in fourth place and he's got to escape this mob of Toyotas behind him. It looks like he's being chased. Down into the third turn. I guess that'll be fourth turn, turn four. We don't have corner names or anything out here. So far, so good for most people. Rusty Maggots down to 11th place, though. Something happened to him in the start that brought him down below corridor, but no damage on his car that I can see. Coming back up front, we got Wid in the lead. What happened to Super S2K? He's now in third place. Did you see what happened?
I think he got loose in the corner right after going up the hill, and just allowed Wid to get really just able to go underneath him. I believe what happened. For Rusty, what happened is the second corner of the track, the second effective corner, I say, he went super narrow on the corner and completely outbraked himself. He actually hit Shred a little bit, but he was able to get away with it. Rusty, not so much.
Ah, got it, man. That's a shame. Not the way you want to start this race. And it looks like our top four are already starting to build a bit of a gap over Truth in fifth place. And Truth himself has a big gap over Rusty, or sorry, Jeffrey, but look just behind higher place and Ryder getting into it. Yagami down in ninth place, down there with Rusty. They've both got a lot of climbing to do through the order and only 13 laps to do it in, 13 or 14, I should say. Man, we've already got some action and a lot of positional changes here and a lot of what's the word I'm looking for?
Chaos.
Chaos. Yeah, chaos wasn't quite the word, but yeah, close enough. I'll take it. Rusty's back up.
Air takes the lead, going into the second corner of the racetrack. They actually, Super S2K, Shred, and Wit actually went three wide right before. Oh, Super S2K he goes sideways into the track. I think he got hit back into the right direction, but he loses a position to Shred. It's getting very dicey up front, and I think that's Truth close behind the second to fourth. He has a chance of getting a podium spot right here.
I saw that. He was very, very loose into that one corner in the S's. I mean, I think that's the way he takes them. He kind of drifts around them and just got the angle wrong there, maybe caught a little bit of the curve, but big changes up front. Like you said, hot air in front of everyone by 1.7 seconds. Shred in second place now, Super S2K in third, and Wid in fourth. The Truth Serum just kind of watching all of this chaos happen ahead of him. And now the mid pack is right back up front with them because here's also Jeffrey and the Stig in seventh place. even higher place. So we've seen slam into the wall. Oh, well, he's got a penalty now. He's going to have to serve that on this back straight. Not where you want to serve a penalty, obviously, but he should be able to tuck into Rusty's slipstream and get some help. But yeah, even those guys, I was going to say, are starting to catch up to these front runners again because of what's been happening.
Absolutely. And while Shred, Super, and Wid fight for the few podium spots that there is, Years just running away with it. He's building his gap, not necessarily out of pure pace, but because the people behind him are just trying to kill one another.
I see that. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, well, we love to see it. Like I said, we wanted to see some action. It's a short race, 15 laps around here goes by really, really quickly, and these guys know it. They don't want to lose out on the race. There are precious points at play, and we're nearing the end of the season. So, well, everything, you got to get as many points as you can. This Super S2K guy has been a bother. He knows he has to have good races. He can't afford to have bad ones, but neither can Shred or Wid right now. So Shred just hoping to get away from what's happening behind him, and Wid obviously hoping to get in the mix and maybe make his way back up to number one.
Absolutely. Just a quick update on the grid order. Jeffrey was able to get past Truth for fifth position. As I say that, Truth goes for a dive bomb on Jeffrey. No contact, but Jeffrey was on the outside and gets a better exit going onto the straight. But Truth did bother him off his line, so he may be able to retaliate going into the second corner. Further back, I want to correct my mistake. Rusty actually hit Ryder into the wall on the first lap in the second corner, so that's the reason why Ryder went down, but he also had a bad start as well.
Got it. Thanks for the update on that. And yeah, definitely got this three-way battle for fifth going, along with that three-way battle for second. Wid in fourth place, starting to lose touch maybe with S2K. Nah, I wouldn't say lose touch. He's still right there. So two three-way battles in a row, and then behind them you got Ryder, who's obviously probably rather seeing red and definitely trying to get up in the mix himself, which will only add to the fire, of course. Then you got Rusty and a higher place, who have been going back and forth themselves. A higher place not having a very consistent start, but I do hope that he's able to settle in soon. Could see some positions. I think he's got pace.
He does, but this is a little bit of insider information. He recently got new wheels, so this is one of his first actual league races. Getting used to the new equipment, so he does have to do a little bit of adapting, so his full pace isn't right there, but hopefully by the end of tonight he'll have all of it back.
That's right. We're looking at Shred under attack by Super S2K, who's looking for the undercut on him on the hairpin there. He does get a good exit and is going to get ahead of Shred before the tunnel. That was a fantastic move right there. Shred, unfortunately, with a bit of a narrow line, I guess, trying to defend, but S2K goaded him and baited him really well there to take the position away. So Shred in third place, and now possibly under attack by Wid. Super S2K, of course, is going to try to get up on Hot Air, who hasn't been able to really run away with it, even with the fighting happening behind him. That gap that he once had was 1.7 seconds the last time I really looked at it. It's down to less than half a second now, as Super S2K looks to make short work of him as well. Ooh, Hot Air wide into that corner. Unfortunately for him, he's going to lose the position. Shred gets a 1 second penalty behind, which is going to take him out of this fight for a little bit for sure. But Hot Air not able to hold his line, and that gave the top position to Super S2K very, very easily. Here's Shred still being aggressive. Wid just, gosh, probably like praying, please get out of the way, somebody. I don't want this Super S2K guy to run away, which he will do if he can't get past Hot Air and Shred ahead of him. Shred obviously will have to take that penalty, but until he does, he is a solid car, unghosted, and Wid probably wants him out from in front of him right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The second Shred moves to the side to take that penalty. As I say that, Super S2K also gets a penalty. So Javier might take the lead again.
He might take the lead right back, and Wid's going to be in second place right behind him there. Let's see. This is S2K getting passed by Hot Air. Here's Wid coming by him as well. He's just got the overspeed. S2K is going to have to settle in behind him. So Wid with a real chance here to get back up front. He sees it. Is he going to be aggressive right here in this corner? Yes, he is. He's going to make a move on Hot Air. It's not going to be able to stick Hot Air, just carrying just enough speed to stay past him. And Wid now under attack by AMS S2K, Super S2K there, because he had to back out of that corner. And the last thing he wants is to lose this. Super S2K gets that nose in there once again, just sliding his car into these corners, into the S's, and able to get his nose to the inside, to the apex before these other drivers, but he's unable to carry the speed through the corner, and Wid is able to maintain his position. Holy man. Well, S2K has shown his hand there. Wid is now going to be covering the inside tighter than anything I can imagine. You can't let him get his nose in there. He's going to easily nudge you out of the way. What's happening behind these three?
There is a major fight in the mid-pack. Shred with the penalty actually got caught up into this mid-pack battle. So fourth all the way down to eighth is a close bumper-to-bumper race. Jeffrey leading it all, but Truth was actually close behind him, just didn't have the pace to really make a move. So hopefully Shred now being tussled here into this little mid-pack battle. As I say that, Shred is going onto the inside of Jeffrey, but doesn't get any sort of traction going out of it. Jeffrey still in the lead, but Shred is keeping his nose in, and hopefully he can scare Jeffrey to the outside for the second corner.
Maybe he can. Nope. Unfortunately, he's not going to have the overspeed. He's got to get behind him. That's going to give Jeffrey the chance to go defensive if he wants to in it. Well, I can't tell if he is. I would have defended there. He seems to trust that Shred won't make a move, and sure enough, he doesn't. Now behind him, Ryder makes a move on
up to
Stig.
Going up to first place. Wid was able to make a move down the inside of the second corner, so Javier is now being stuck in second with a hungry Super S2K. As I say that, Super S2K had his rear slide out on him. It was a very simple move to the dive to the inside, but Javier also got himself pushed out almost into the wall.
We do have a replay of it here. Ooh, Hot Air. Ooh, yep. That's a wall right there. Careful there. Wid, of course, just taking advantage. I don't think he caused it. And then, he gets the position. And Super S2K is not able to get the position. Man, Hot Air really making himself a nuisance up front. I love it. Meanwhile, Wid building a little bit of a gap. If he can just keep those tires up under him and keep calm, he should be able to run away with it if Hot Air is able to keep S2K behind him for a while. S2K going for that same sort of wide move. Hot Air covers it, though. He's not going to be able to get the undercut on him like he did with Shred. And once again, he sits behind the NVR driver. Oh, is that a penalty for Wid? Wid has a half-second penalty. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see where he got that. He must have cut the hairpin somehow, so he's going to serve that on the next lap. Now he really wants to get out of here and not get caught up, but I think even with a half second, as close as they are, he's going to lose the position to either one of these two drivers behind him. Super S2K gets around Hot Air there, just saw it happen in the background of your screen, so he's probably got the pace to get up close to Wid and ensure that position is lost when the penalty comes around. Super S2K once again sliding that Corolla around there, just heating them tires up. Look at that smoke coming off of his right hand side tires. That can't be sustainable, can it?
Well, with our settings, probably a little bit, but in real world, definitely not.
No, definitely not. Jimmy Bean says more live racing. Tight is right. Yes, it is. Tight is right. Wid is getting close to having to serve that penalty. Super S2K sits less than a second behind him, and so I do believe we're going to see a pass for position here because that penalty is served at the start of a very crucial straight, unfortunately. And so this position will be gifted. No, well, as I say that, I thought maybe Super S2K stepped out of line, but no penalty on his car for him. And yes, he will take first place now, and Wid will tuck in behind neatly. Hot Air sits in third place. Shred has made his way up to fourth to catch back up and hopefully get back into podium contention. But he brings an entire party of cars right behind him. There's Jeffrey, there's Truth, there's Ryder, and there is the Stig. All of them right there ready to take that third place away as well. No pressure, Hot Air. No pressure at all.
Yes, finally Shred was able to get ahead of Jeffrey at the hairpin on this final lap, or this current lap. Jeffrey went a little bit wide on the exit, allowing Shred to go onto the inside and using his traction to get a better overspeed, allowing him to finally have a clean shot of going back onto the podium, but he still has one car ahead of him for him to take that result.
Yeah, wow. Wid got a very good exit out of the last corner there on Super S2K. I wonder if in the slip, he'll be able to make something happen by the time to get to that hairpin. He is closing in. What will Super S2K do? Is he going to go defensive or what? I think Wid might have just caught him in a bad place there at the kink. And it's not going to give him much of a chance. He will break in line in order behind Super S2K there, not try to make anything happen, not try to force the issue just yet. Lap 10 to 15 though, we're running out of time.
Yep, these final closing laps, you'll see a lot more desperate overtake attempts and a lot more aggressive defending. Obviously, with this being the last fourth of the season, everyone really wants to get those final points and make sure they don't have to use a drop round where necessary. As I say that, Shrek goes down the inside of the second corner, letting Javier take that outside line with less grip and finalizes that position.
Well done for Shred to get back up into podium position after losing a couple of spots when he had to take a very long penalty. I think it was an entire second that he had several laps to go. So now he's back into third place here and trying to see if he can get a look at Wid or even Super S2K up front, or will he just be stuck in a battle with Hot Air, who's been holding his own this entire race. He's lagging like crazy right now, though. Had to be scary to try to make a pass on him for Shred. Glad that nothing happened there. The Truth has been sitting in fifth for pretty much the entire race here. I think he was in seventh at one point. So I think he's come back up here. But Ryder Yagami is the story. He's just kind of been stuck in this slipstream chain the entire race. Once he caught up to it, rather, he's just been stuck there after falling in lap one. He's running out of time to catch anything, and he sits in third in the championship. He wants to get more points than this for sure. There he goes. One position gained right there in the hairpin as we say that over Jeffrey, who's falling down the order to seventh place now. He was once leading this pack.
Absolutely. Jeffrey is continuing to struggle in that hairpin. Once again goes wide on entry and as a result on exit, is trying to fight back with Ryder, is able to get that inside light contact. Nice. Ryder doesn't go into the wall but loses another position to Stig.
Loses two positions right there. Ryder probably not happy with what's happening here. Back and forth, literally one step forward and two steps back for him. We just saw him gain sixth, and now he is in eighth place. Just checking behind him real quick. We got Rusty Maggot sitting in ninth. He doesn't seem to be able to advance. He's got 6.9 seconds to those cars ahead. He is ahead of a higher place, and Corridor has been in last place the entire race here. Coming back up front, the Super S2K versus Wid battle is a little bit cooled down. 1.1 seconds is the gap between those two drivers, so not much action happening. Here's Shred behind Wid, 1.3 seconds back himself. And obviously looking to run away from hot air, which I think he has accomplished, and see if he can regain something for himself. He really was in good position to try and win this race before that penalty, unfortunately, that just took him out.
Ryder is able to make one position on Stig, taking it over before the hairpin. Hopefully, Ryder is able to get at least one more, maybe on Jeffrey, maybe two more if he gets with Hot or with Troop. But with these final burning laps, I think we're gonna really start to see kind of gaps opening up, and I think we're gonna really see these positions finalize themselves out.
Yeah, yeah. We've seen some phenomenal driving of this car today. Like I said, we've seen it for several rounds, and drivers kind of know what it can do. And I have learned some things about what it can do as well in this race. Do you drive this car very much at all?
Nope, and I'm glad I'm not.
No. Why are you glad? I think it looks like it handles pretty well.
You see these drivers, especially going into the second hairpin, the like quick left-hander, they can't even go full throttle. They have to lift and just slide the car correctly to get into the hairpin. So, these drivers have to handle a lot of the rotation off throttle, and it can get a little bit dicey considering these sports softs are not the grippiest tires, known to man. So, one little bad weight transfer and now your rear's going into the corner first.
Well, I like the challenge, and it seems like they're having a great time driving this thing. They will, of course, park the cars after this race. These cars will go onto the trailer, and the GR3s will be brought out into the paddock and warmed up and made ready for racing here while the track is reset for counterclockwise racing rather. This is a counterclockwise track normally.
Yep, as I say that, Ryder in seventh gets the slipstream in from Jeffrey, goes to the inside of the second corner of the track and is able to get that position, but parked it a bit too much on the apex, so Jeffrey is able to do the switcheroo on exit.
Man, it looked like he hit the wall there, but I don't see any damage on the car. It did look like he clobbered the wall pretty good, but maybe just barely missed that thing. But yeah, Ryder unable to increase his position here. Every time he tries, somebody comes right back on him. This mid pack, like you said, it was pretty fierce. In qualifying, it kept going back and forth. Drivers kept improving their time and changing, and it's been no different in the actual race, even as we come to the closing laps here. Up front, we don't see any change. Hasn't been in a little bit. If anything, Wid is a little bit further back from Super S2K, and Shred is a little bit closer to Wid. So we may see a battle for second place coming up soon here if Wid doesn't figure out pacing. Let's see, Shred's last lap was his best, a 39.004 for Shred there, which bests his last one by almost 4/10. And then Wid's current best is a 139.3. So Shred picking up some time, maybe in the slip, maybe in places like this, but it's certainly helping him catch up with Wid in front. And I think they're gonna have to get into it. I know Shred wants that position. I know he does.
Absolutely, but as he pointed out, Shred does have a better fastest lap over Wid, so he definitely has the pace to do it. But Wid is not going to make this move any easy, and we have only a lap and a half to see Shred do anything to try to take second from him.
Absolutely. Well, we're coming to the second to lap or the last lap soon. After this here, look at these drivers just absolutely using every last bit of that sports soft tire that they can, making it work. Ooh, I think, is that a penalty back there? Yes, that's hot air with a half-second penalty. He's got some breathing room to the truth behind him. It's 1.2 seconds, but it's going to be close when he does serve that penalty as to whether or not he loses that position to truth.
As we see that Ryder is now back behind Jeffrey again in the slipstream, pulls out onto the inside of the main straight, is now going alongside. He has a chance going into this hairpin.
He does. He's going to have the inside for the hairpin. Obviously, Jeffrey's going to stay with him. Maybe look for the over under. Yeah, he's already starting to position that car way off to the outside, while Ryder is going to have a very, very narrow entry into the corner here. He's going to have to park it on the apex. There's Jeffrey looking for the over under. He's not able to get it. And so Ryder maintains that position for more than two corners for the first time in a while that we have seen, though Jeffrey is right there and probably will challenge in the next corner coming right up here. And sure enough, he's starting to make his move. We're going to go chase cam for this one. He's got the inside. Ryder should have defended. We've seen this already between the two. Jeffrey does not leave him very much room there. And once again, takes it back in the same corner we saw him do it in 2 laps ago. Ryder just not doing what he needs to do to hang on to that position. And these are the last few turns. There's only one more real passing opportunity. That is going to be the very last turn. While we say that, I do want to go up front and, of course, give AMS Super S2K his flowers as he completely overdrifts the last turn, but he will maintain the position for the win. Wid defends against Shredder, successfully defends rather, and takes second place while Shred is in fourth. Hot Air, even with the penalty, will hang on to fourth place. The Shoots will take fifth, and Jeffrey hangs on to sixth, ahead of Ryder rather, who takes seventh. They're Stig in eighth. Rusty Maggots will be in ninth place behind Rusty. That's higher place in the background coming up, and Corridor will cross the line shortly as well. What a beautiful rebuild and remake of this track, by the way. This is stunning, Gran Turismo, and it makes for great racing as we just experienced.
Absolutely. It was a very, very intense sprint race. And, kudos to all the drivers handling this car around this track when you have so many cars around you. Very well done to everyone. And it was great for us to watch.
Yep, it sure was. So we're looking at our finishing order here. We've got AMS Super S2K with the race win here. Wid coming in behind in second place, and Shred in third. Hot Air for a fourth place finish. Well done in that race by Hot Air. The Truth Serum will take fifth place. In sixth, we've got Jeffrey Ryder, aka Yagami, in seventh. The Stig in eighth place. In ninth place, we saw S7R's Rusty Maggot. A higher place will take 10th, and Corridor will take the 11th place in the race. That was excellent, excellent stuff. I can't wait for the feature race now. GR3s.
Yep, GR3s are up next, just in the other rotation, or the other way of going it. You get the idea. It's gonna be
Words are hard.
counterclockwise. There we go. Yeah, it is very hard. We are gonna come back very quickly. We just have to handle some of these network issues. But in the meantime, Toddy, what was your overall thoughts? Did you notice anything interesting? Did you know anything odd during the sprint race?
Well, I mean, I learned that you can slide the heck out of a car on sports softs for 15 laps and not really miss a beat, not overheat those tires. Because the way Super S2K was driving that thing, I really thought that like the tires would eventually overheat, and that would give Wid an opportunity, because Wid was not Wid was drifting it into like the S's there a little bit, but not with as much reckless abandon as Super S2K was. But it never seemed to happen. His tires never really fell off, as far as tire wear goes, and they didn't seem to overheat on him either.
You're right. And that's partially due to the very low tire multiplier, right? Maybe if it was a little bit higher, it wouldn't really that type of driving style wouldn't have been able to really work.
Right.
But Super S2K did probably his own testing and figured out that's definitely the fastest way to, drive the car for those 15 laps. And yeah,
What?
he did a very good job executing it. And, while he had some penalties and a little bit of a bad start, he was able to capitalize on a win.
Hey, I ain't mad at it. Jimmy Beans has given us a tongue twister in the chat. I don't think I'm going to try to say that, Jimmy. That seems very, very difficult, and I don't want it on the internet for anyone to see. While
We
we
are
wait
race
on the
commentators,
right, right, not
not
poets,
English. Yeah, not English professors.
rappers. Maybe if I was Eminem, I could say it. I think I'm aging myself when I make reference to Eminem. Uh, with this next race coming up, I can't remember how long it is in this moment. How many laps is the next race?
One moment. Let
Like
me check.
24 laps. Okay, 24 laps. But we're in a much faster car this time around. And yeah, as we say that, the feature rules have just come up. Hover, you want to tell the folks about this race?
Sure, let me take a look at them myself. Of course, this is the feature race for the night. Is going to be in the Group 3 machinery. All the drivers chose a Group 3 car at the beginning of the season. They were allowed to switch it after the 6th round. So, they are very well accustomed to their own car. It's going to be 24 laps around here, but going the counterclockwise direction. With our qualifying order, it's going to be the grid order of the sprint race from 7th to 8th, but just going to be in reverse. So Super S2K winning the sprint race, meaning he will start 7th, and I believe it was Ryder who finished 7th, so he should be taking pole.
Yep.
And then going through that, we are doing a rolling start. Everyone has to be on BOP, but you are allowed to tune your brake balance in aero. Everyone needs to change between two racing tire compounds. It's up to the drivers to choose what's the best strat. Tire wear and fuel usage is a little bit higher at 2x. Refuel rate will be lowered to 3 liters, but everyone starts on a full tank of fuel. We will be doing this race in the evening with sunny weather. Econ conditions are off, meaning we'll see wind, and that will affect some of the drivers, and then time multiplier at 1.
Thank you. Thank you. What I'm told is that with these settings, we'll see most laps done on the soft tire and like a few on the medium because you do have to change compounds, but it sounds like the soft tire is an excellent choice for the majority of the race. And so these drivers will be going as fast as they absolutely can.
Absolutely, I'm getting
Love
the
to see
same
it.
information. The softs seem to be very durable around here.
Yeah, which I guess isn't that surprising. I mean, you have the long straights. I am surprised that they don't get eaten up, more in the S's there. But I guess even the S's are pretty fast, to be honest with you. There's not a lot of heavy braking through them.
The S's have this really weird thing where, how do I say it? I would say it's very much a one-line kind of section of the track, right? And the more heavier turning parts are actually very slow corners. So the higher speed ones, you don't actually turn that much. You only turn
Yeah.
that much during the slower versions. So that's why the tire wear is, deceptively low. You'd think the tires would be dying, but you're not turning that much at high speed.
Yeah. We're on with Rusty as he goes through that section right now here. The first set of S's. This is the only part that I would say is heavy braking, kind of a slow corner. And then you got this longish sweeper here, which is pretty slow. You will lean on that front left quite a bit through there. But for the most part, they don't really chew your tires up. And then right after this left-hander, you're done with it. You are back on a straight. Give those tires a chance to cool down and not really have to do too much work before you are braking hard for the hairpin at the end of the lap. But
Yep.
yeah, this track is pretty easy on tires, and like you said, we have a pretty low tire use multiplier this time around.
Or two little problem spots, if you want to call it that. You will see a lot of penalties being picked up at the exit of the corner going onto the back straight. If you go a little bit wide over there, getting off the curb, you will pick up a penalty. Same thing at the hairpin. If you go wide on exit off the red and white curbing, you will pick up a penalty. Very similar to the sprint race, but just in the opposite direction.
Penalty, penalty, penalty. Speaking of which, we see Jeffrey has one and he's going to go ahead and pit. Doesn't matter right now. We're not racing yet. These are just the warm up laps. Drivers getting themselves used to being in faster machinery, more grip. You drive these way differently than you drive that Corolla on those sports soft tires. And drivers are going to have to get back to trusting these machines and braking later, etc. But anyway, we're about to get started. It is a rolling start, so you see drivers are in a formation on track there, not in boxes, and so the computer will actually drive for them for a few seconds, and then they'll get moving.
A mad dash going into turn one right now.
That's right. I don't know who to look at. I think I'm gonna go mid-pack chase cam with Wid in 7th place here, or 6th place rather. Our winner, Super S2K, is in 7th, and these two actually we'll start behind AMS. You know they want to get in front of all these cars right here. Ryder is up front on pole position. He wants to stay up there and definitely has the pace to do so, I would say.
Absolutely, but as much as Shred, Wed, and Super, were the podium spots of the sprint race and probably are the fastest one on the track, Javier, Truth, Jeffrey, and especially Ryder, they're going to use their grid spot as much as they can. And I think the most important thing that we have to remember is that the team championship is still really close. So all these spots, while maybe doesn't matter a lot in the drivers' championship right now, it matters a ton going into the team championship.
It does. We're entering one of the most dangerous braking zones here for the drivers, the hairpin. You gotta try to make it through without anyone hitting you. And AMS Super S2K goes around the outside of Wid in the hairpin for a pass there. I did not see that coming, but Wid just a little bit slow on that tighter line, and that gave Super S2K the easy pass here. So one down. 5 more to go, I guess, and he looks like he might make a move on Shred on the inside here. Shred not only goes defensive, but he straight up dives down the inside of the Truth there, and that doesn't work out for him, and he actually takes a hot air out a little bit, and that gives Super S2K the position anyway. It gives Wid the position as well, and Shred is still back there struggling. Oh my gosh, the Truth. Big spin for the Truth. We have a replay on that. If we can check that out there. Wow, Super S2K up to 3rd. Wid up to 4th behind him. We're with the Truth now. Let's see what happened. He was in 3rd place, looking good in front of Super S2K. Oh, just power oversteer. Just on the gas too soon there. It's so easy to do. Oh, he's gonna kick himself for that self-own right there, but it happens, unfortunately.
Wid is trying to make a move on Super S2K, was heavily in the slipstream, but wasn't able to do anything. I wonder if Wid has some sort of aero deficiency. He doesn't seem to be moving as quick as I thought he would on the straight. But Super S2K, he was able to go around the outside of that hairpin on the last lap because Wid had to go slow because of Shred being parked up on the apex. As I say that, Wid is again attempting to overtake Super S2K going into the first corner. Isn't able to get alongside whatsoever despite being on a slipstream. Super S2K keeps there going to turn 1.
Wow, already attempts being made here. I can't believe these two have already made it into third place there. Just the drama, obviously, of the early laps here. We've got a fight for ninth place, and is that someone in a Beetle? I keep forgetting that higher place chose the Beetle for their car. You just never see this thing out. I love this thing. It's a lot of fun to drive, and I actually haven't driven one probably since GT Sport, now that I think about it. But yeah, Beetle on track. The mid pack still coming along strong. Shred not able to make his way closer to the top end the way Wid and Super S2K have been able to do. And he's gonna want to be able to get up to the front where they are, or else he stands to lose a lot of points in comparison to Wid and of course Super S2K.
Ooh.
Ooh, hot air with a move into the hairpin over Wid, and Shred even having a look as well. He's not going to be able to get there, but Wid keeps losing positions in that hairpin, and he goes from third place to fifth now behind hot air. Super S2K, of course, wanting to get even further up the order. Hot air goes defensive into turn one behind Super S2K, which is gonna just slow himself and Wid down, of course, and give S2K a chance to get even further up the road to Jeffrey and Ryder, who hope that all this argy-bargy behind them continues as Ryder. Nice. He looks good through the S's there in that AMG. He looks pretty quick through there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Shred was looking down the inside, but I find it very interesting to see Super S2K so focused behind him despite having a decent gap to Hot Ayer. When Hot Ayer moved defensive going to turn one, Super S2K actually went in front of him as well to give him a little bit of extra slip. Super S2K is keeping an eye on Wid.
Yep, I saw that too. Just yeah, give this guy, the enemy of my enemy, a little bit of slip. Keep a car in between us. Jeffrey picks up a 1 second penalty. He's just served it. Luckily, in this direction, the penalty zone is in a favorable spot. You're coming up on a braking zone, and it will let the car behind you close up on you on the brakes, but you have an opportunity to defend and not lose the position. Jeffrey maintains that position, but now he is firmly in the clutches of Super S2K and the AMG, who are right in his slip. And I think it's only a matter of time before he makes a move.
Wid goes again, attempts to overtake Hot Ayer, but he doesn't have the engine, but he does get alongside going to turn one, brakes a little bit later, is able to go ahead a little bit, but Hot Ayer was able to reclaim the corner, but Wid gets a better exit and finalizes four for himself.
That's right, Wid sticking to it there around the outside of turn one, which gave him, ooh, was that a tap on the wall for Wid? Might have been, I don't know. There's no damage on the car. It might have just been a little lag spike, but whatever it was, Hot Ayer staying with him, it did slow him down a little bit. It had to have, because Hot Ayer's able to get a fender in next to him from time to time here, but Wid sticking with it, refusing to give up the position, just like we saw when he made the pass there. And he's just gonna continue to fight for it, whether he's got good track position or not. He really doesn't want Super S2K to get away from him, to get too far away. Hot Air with a half-second penalty that he's gonna have to serve, I think, next lap. Yeah, he just got it, just picked it up on the outside of that hairpin there. So he stands to lose the position to Shred, who might even take it before the penalty is even served, because of course he wants to stick with Wid as well and ride his coattails to the front. But Wid does a good job to get out of that fight and get himself in a place where he can really make a chase for that last podium position. Hot Air out of position here on track, under attack by Shred. He's going to have the inside for turn one. As we've seen, though, there are two fast lines through turn one. You are able to make it around the outside. Shred, not as brave as Wid, or perhaps not as desperate, doesn't seek to do so. He right back behind Hot Air and will try again another corner, or wait till he serves that penalty. Who knows? But he may not want to wait, because here's a higher place just behind him, and a higher place also has Rusty Maggots behind. So Shred doesn't have a lot of breathing room. He's got to make this move eventually.
Absolutely. Higher place, seemingly finding more pace in his Group 3 machinery than the Corolla. Rusty as well, closely behind both Shred and Higher. Super S2K was able to make the move on Jeffrey. I missed that, not quite sure. But Wid was really close to the pair, but just wasn't able to do anything. I think Super S2K got the move done going into turn 1, because I know that's where Wid loses the gap. As I say that, Shred and Higher and almost Rusty takes the position from Higher due to the penalty. As I say that, Higher goes wide out of the hairpin, almost allows Higher to get back to pass, but isn't able to accomplish that.
Well, Shred went wide coming out of the hairpin, picked himself up a half-second penalty after making that pass. Almost lost it, actually. So he's lucky to get away with just a half-second pen, but he's not going to be happy to see that because he's got all those cars behind him. And before I get, oh, wait, actually, nope, we've got to move behind. I was going to shout out a something, but Hot Air with a move into turn 1 over a higher place. He's going to take 6th place there. I guess he must have lost it back there. I hadn't even noticed, but well done for Hot Air. Turn 1, it's a fantastic place to make passes. We've seen several attempts, 3 laps in a row there, and I expect to see more action there as we continue. Shout out to Crawler with another donation to us, $4.99. Would love to also compete in this league in the future. Good luck, competitors. Well done, broadcasters. Thanks, Caller. We appreciate it so much. Shred's about to serve that penalty. Let's see how that affects him, and then we'll check in with everyone up front. Again, these penalties are in a favorable spot. Can he defend? He's going defensive. Hot Air is going to go around the outside easily into the braking zone, but a higher place and Rusty Maggots do get stuck behind Shred. They're just not able to get past them before they had to brake. What's going on up here? We got Wid on Jeffrey. Will there be a move into turn 1? We've seen Wid be aggressive in turn 1 before. We see him be aggressive when he's behind Super S2K. There he goes, going to dive to the inside on Jeffrey. Can he hold it? He does hold on to a tight corner there. Jeffrey will be able to get on the gas sooner. They touch. There is contact between the two of them. Jeffrey almost loses it. More contact between the two drivers. Wid will remain up front. Jeffrey's car off balance. He has to decide to let it go, but I don't think he's going to be very happy about the way that pass happened. There may be something into the stewards about this hover. You might have some work to do.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a little bit of contact, a little bit of touching between the two, but Wid is able to get ahead. Doesn't mean Jeffrey isn't going to try to retaliate. He gets pretty close behind him, going onto the back straight. As I say that, behind Hot Air now has to serve his half-second penalty. Should allow Shred and Higher to get past them.
That's right. And he's going to go way defensive, but here comes Jeffrey showing the nose into the hairpin. I thought he was going to tuck back in, but nope. He did decide to make the move, and he dives in. He definitely isn't happy with Wid's pass there and wasn't going to give him another chance. And so went ahead and took that position right back. What can Wid do? Can he come back on him by the time they get to turn 1? That Aston has really long legs and he's in the slip, but I don't know if he's going to get close enough for a move this time around. Jeffrey might just have gotten away with something there. Wid did get in his mirrors a little bit just to psych him out. Didn't help, didn't do anything, but yeah, these two are on it. Wid is not happy about being back here, I'm sure. Meanwhile, up front, Super S2K still trying to catch Ryder. It's a 2.7 second gap. We will keep an eye on that gap. They're 3 seconds ahead of Jeffrey and Wid, who are fighting it out right now, though.
Absolutely. Jeffrey's overtake on Wid was very much a racist way to say, whatever you do to me, I will do to you. So, Jeffrey, guts the position, and we'll see what that happens in the stewarding, but that will happen in the future. As I say that, Hot Air is now close behind, higher place. He may be able to make a move going into the hairpin, but Hot Air really is the only one on softs right now. He needs to make some sort of move right now to get any sort of real result from the softs because now he's in seventh. He, I think, started this race in what, fourth? And he's only lost positions despite starting on the softs. As I say that, Witt is able to retake third place from Jeffrey on the final hairpin, but Jeffrey is trying to get back at him, going into turn one in fourth place, goes to the outside, brakes way later, almost off the track. Witt is still on the inside, but Jeffrey gets the... Oh, he gets hit off wide! Goes onto the grass, still going side by side, and Witt takes the position, still holds third.
I don't know if he got hit off wide there. I think he went wide there. He did try that wider line, which in turn one there's a lot of grip out there. If you get it right, you can get a huge run going up the hill, but I think you still have to clip the apex to make it really work, and Jeffrey was unable to do that because Witt was already there, and sure enough, he got on the gas quickly, but was too far outside and ended up mowing the lawn a little bit. Witt now firmly in third place. Jeffrey not willing to just let it go. We're not even halfway through this race yet, and it's already this intense. But now that gap that was 3 seconds to AMS is 4.2 seconds. Now Witt's chances at beating that driver in this race are slipping away.
As I say that, taking a bit of a note, Rusty, Corridor, and Stig have all pitted and gone away from their mediums. So they're really trying a super undercut against all of their opponents, and let's see if that does result in anything. As I say that, both Shred and Higher are going into the pits. This is pretty much right in line of what we are all expecting here. A lot of these drivers we'll now be seeing going into the pits. Ha'ayer, on the other hand, I think we can see him go into the pits around lap 13 to 14. No, I think maybe a little bit late.
Maybe. I mean, the softs was supposed to last 13 to 14 laps. It began, I believe. So that sounds about right there. So Corridor and the Stig in a big fight themselves. And of course, that does hurt the undercut if you come out of the pits fighting. Ryder still leads this thing. He's 11 laps. He's been holding on to the lead. Super S2K is getting closer to him, but it's not like he's reeling him in really fast or anything like that. But Ryder pulled off a 128 flat 2 laps ago. That's not what he had been doing before. He's got a 128.2 sandwiched around that 128 flat. Super S2K is doing 127s though. Oh, and he's in the pits. He's gonna go ahead and go in, cover off the undercut, maybe pull an undercut off himself. Witt is gonna cover that off by pitting right behind him as well. So Ryder is out there on those medium tires, and if I'm him, unless he doesn't believe he can save the tires, he's got to pit this next lap around, or Super S2K is definitely going to catch him.
Absolutely. Witt has a little bit more fuel than Super S2K, but from my understanding, that doesn't really matter much. The fuel usage is not high enough where they need to refuel whatsoever. So fuel saving isn't really any advantage around here. And as such, Witt doesn't gain anything in the pits on Super S2K.
That's right. Ryder now has to put the in-lap of his life together if he is to stand a chance at keeping this race win. We're only halfway through the race. He's been getting caught up by his opponents, but maybe by having 1 lap younger soft tires, he can hold them off. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. The undercut is pretty powerful, especially if you've got clean air, which we don't know if Super S2K got. Yep, he did. He comes out with no one ahead of him. Witt as well. Ryder's got clean air, of course, and he's going to jump in the pits now to get his own softs, and we're going to see where he comes out in comparison to Super S2K. Is he closer? Is he further? I think the gap is going to be smaller. Almost certainly.
I think they're going to go side by side going to turn 1, to be honest.
Let's do it. Down. Let's go to AMS Super S2K as he comes down the front straight here. There is Yagami to this left, and you're right. Side by side in turn one, Yagami is gonna hug that apex. So not quite side by side, more like almost bumper to bumper. But Ryder just barely makes it out of the pits in front of Super S2K, and now he's got to get on his horse. His tires are cold. Super S2K does have a chance to get him this lap if he really wants to. But once Ryder has those tires warmed up, he's not going to make it easy for him at all. And there's a chance. There's a chance. I think S2K has pace on him, but it is easier to defend than it is to pass.
Absolutely, but every little lap that Super S2K is behind Ryder will make him lose time to win, and that's the last thing he wants. One other thing is that Ryder and Super S2K are in the same car. Ryder doesn't go defensive. I'm very surprised Super S2K didn't go for the move unless they want to work together to gain a further gap, which is very possible. But going back, they have the same car, meaning Super S2K will not have any sort of straight line advantage. He has to do everything basically against the same car that he has himself. Ryder goes a bit defensive, only middle of the road. Super S2K has a lane to go on the inside. He does take it and gets the move going to turn one. Ryder does still fight it. Around the outside, Super S2K gets him a little bit off his line. Still going side by side, going into the first SS section, goes around the outside, and he confirms the move. He is now in the lead of this race. Wid has to catch Ryder very quickly and not lose time against him if he wants any chance of winning this.
Yep, Ryder not wanting to fully commit to the defensive line, afraid of getting undercut, still ends up losing the position. Super S2K able to get that Mercedes turned around, parked on the apex, and back on the gas to get up the hill just ahead of Ryder, at least enough to have to pinch him and make him slow down, which he did. He takes the position there. Well done. I just think Ryder probably should have committed to the defensive move a little bit more there, maybe at the last minute, track out wide before the braking. But hindsight, there's two ways to defend, and one of them will work, and maybe the other one will. You don't know. You can only try one at a time, I guess. Wid is in third place, ahead of Shred. So no one between himself and Ryder, but a lot of air. 3 seconds of air to be precise. And Ryder has a slip from a driver who's a little bit faster, but they got the same car, same straight line speed, and so that will only...
We go down to fifth place. Sorry, Toddy. Hires defending against his teammate Rusty going into turn one. Side by side, Jeffrey close behind two. Any sort of mistake between the two. Rusty goes a little bit wide, touches the grass. And they're still side by side going into the S section. The higher brakes a little bit later on that outside line seems to be favorable when you want to fight in there, and higher still keeps his fifth place, but Rusty and Jeffrey are keeping him honest. This is going to be a three-way fight for the best of the rest position.
Yeah, Jeffrey not giving it up, man. A little bumping, a little bit of mirror rubbing, a little door rubbing between the two, between Rusty and Jeffrey there. And Jeffrey ultimately loses out on the position on Rusty. And right behind them, who is that? That is Corridor coming up behind, maybe looking to see if he can get something out of it. A higher place is able to stay out of the mess. The Sig just picked up an entire 1 second penalty back there in ninth place, and he's possibly going to lose a position to Hot Air and Truth. No, he should make it to the braking before they get to him, so he won't lose that position. The fight is still on, though, between Jeffrey and Rusty. Jeffrey with the slip behind Rusty as they head down towards the front straight. Let's see what happens in the turn one here between these two.
Jeffrey had to go a little bit wide on entry of the hairpin so he didn't hit Rusty going into the braking zone, meaning the gap opened up a little bit, but the slipstream still keeps him close. And this is going to be a very, very strange fight for fifth place. I wasn't expecting Higher to gain so be in the, as I say that, higher gets a second penalty. Because Rusty pitted earlier than higher, but the undercut didn't seem to push him higher than, well, higher.
Right, right, man. Just check back up front to make sure we still had goodness happening up there. So yeah, half second penalty for a higher place. I think a higher place being there is what saved Rusty from getting a move made on him into turn one, and it won't happen now because Jeffrey's got a half second penalty as well. So does Rusty. They both pick up the same exact penalty. They will serve it the next lap, not this one. And now Rusty looking to put a higher place between himself and Jeffrey. He's going to try to go around the outside of the hairpin. It's not going to happen. Jeffrey looks to tuck in to the inside there for him. Oh, Rusty trying to use a higher place. Please give me some slip, little beetle. Help me out here. Jeffrey is right here trying to get this position. Jeffrey absolutely wants to fight for it. A higher place, looks to go defensive into turn one. Rusty, no choice but to go to the outside. Jeffrey trying to figure out where he is going to go to follow through. Oh, and they touch. Rusty gets punted into the grass. Jeffrey's going to slow down to wait for him. Good sportsmanship there, but hot and heavy fight between those two drivers. Just unfortunate that mistake there kind of threw it off. I wanted to see how they were going to make turn one happen. Rusty's picked up damage, unfortunately. So front splitter damage to that front right wheel as well, or right corner rather, suspension damage. And that's a shame that that happened. Now they're both under attack by the Stig, and they will both lose positions because Stig has no penalty, of course.
A very unfortunate accident between Jeffrey and Rusty, but good on Jeffrey for, giving back the position and waiting up for him, going a little bit forward. Corridor does take 6 from both of them. If he finishes in his position, I think that's the best result he's gotten in the pro feature race rounds. Going up front, Super S2K is not pulling out such a humongous lead on Ryder. I think what's going on is that Ryder is trying to, or not Ryder, Super S2K is giving a little bit of slipstream to Ryder. He's not really pushing his tires or fuel that hard in order to let him save a little bit of it, and then give Ryder kind of an extra shield by giving him slipstream, so Witt has to work double hard in order to get extra time and overtake Ryder.
Yep, that makes sense to me. Kind of use him until you don't need him anymore, then you leave him out to dry. 2 fights happening here. Of course, that fight for 8th place between Jeffrey, the Truth, and Hot Air, or sorry, the fight for 7th between the Stig, Jeffrey, and Rusty. And then we got the Truth and Hot Air fighting for 10th place behind them. So some close battles happening literally until from first through dead last in this race. There are battles everywhere on this track. Some currently happening, some ready to form. We're 18 laps out of 24 in. So the drivers are starting to look at end game, see what's going on. Of course, folks on the soft tires have been trying to save them and make them last until the end of the race, try to make their pushes, to make their moves. And now is the time to start setting that up, because this race will end before we know it. It's only a minute and a half lap.
Yep, Jeffrey goes down the inside of the Stig, going into the hairpin, gets the move done, maybe a little bit of contact on exit, but isn't much of an issue. Corridor ahead has a half-second penalty, so Jeffrey still is on pace to get 6th place. Higher is a little bit farther ahead. I don't think that's really on the cards, but Stig is now under threat from Rusty going to turn 1. Rusty breaks a little bit later than Stig, pushes him out to the outside line. A little bit of traction, a little bit of contact on the exit, forces Stig onto the grass. Rusty's now ahead on the first S section, pushes Stig into a narrow line, and he has to back out. Rusty now takes 8th place.
Wow, part of what I love about fighting past turn 1 on this track is that you can, it is very physical. It is about where the car is and forcing your opponent into a bad line. It's one of the most satisfying things to pinch an opponent off and make them slow down and get out of it, because there's really only one good line through those S's. It's a lot of fun around here to race, and it's good to see these drivers obviously having a good time with it themselves. We love to see the entertainment. We're 19 laps in. We still got fights all over the place. I'm going to check with Corridor here, who just took that penalty. He's not going to lose any position, but now Jeffrey is all over the back of him, and he's also got Rusty Maggots behind him. Corridor could use the points here. Could definitely like to see sixth place in this race. I think didn't have a great sprint race. I don't think he did last week either. A couple of bad races for him. He could use a good result here, but he's under attack. Jeffrey dives in on turn one. Corridor, is he gonna fight back? He's not fighting too hard. In fact, Jeffrey easily able to make the move. Corridor not able to stick around the outside there. So that's Jeffrey up into sixth place. We've seen him fighting back and forth between or not back and forth, mostly back actually, from the front of the pack at the beginning of the race. But we've seen a lot of battling for him. It's been a very physical race for Jeffrey.
Absolutely.
Tapping behind Stig and the Truth Serum, two S7R drivers duking it out now. Our teammates, man, they got to be nice to each other.
Unfortunately, if you look at it, Corridor, Rusty, Stig, and Truth are all some of the earliest pitters going onto the softs, and now they're currently going towards the rear of the pack. Doesn't look like the super undercut really worked out in their favor. Not enough positions and time gain, and as a result, they're just now left to dry on the closing laps. Jeffrey, one of the latest pitters, has a relatively fresh set of tires compared to those behind him, and even two higher ahead. While there's still 5-second gap between them, I think Jeffrey might have the pace and tire wear to do at least one attempt on the last lap on higher.
I think the later pitters, or people who have at least been able to save their tires, are going to have the advantage. The Truth trying the outside line around the Stig into turn one here. These were the early pitters, like you said. They're left to just fight each other. Neither one of these drivers has a tire advantage over the other or fuel. Same exact car, same exact tire situation, same exact fuel situation. This is pure mano a mano. As we say that, the Stig taps the wall on the outside. Unfortunately, Truth not quite able to take advantage. He's trying to stick a nose in there and throw Stig off his line. He doesn't quite get it done. The Stig able to maintain ninth place there ahead of the Truth despite the mistake. But this is what's going to happen if these drivers aren't able to keep it together. They're going to come under pressure. They're going to hit walls. Oh, and a penalty for the Stig there. No wall tap this time, just good old-fashioned going out wide. So that's going to give the Truth the position. Rusty ahead of him also has a half second, which is going to give Corridor plenty of breathing room here after this lap, because Rusty is going to serve that next lap, it looks like. I think the Stigs also will be served in the next lap. So the Truth gains the position on merit. He picks it up ahead of the Stig, up to 8th place for him now. And Stig just hopes to stay with him.
Absolutely. Currently, Jeffrey unfortunately DC'd from the race towards the end of the lap, allowing Corridor now taking 6th place. Rusty was trying to find a move on the inside, but didn't have the legs. Nissan seems to be very comfortable on the straights. Very sad for Jeffrey. He was running an incredible race and maybe had the pace to get higher, but just unfortunately disconnected.
He was. I think that might be the second time Jeffrey was having a great race and disconnected. That's really a shame. I just want to point out that Ryder in 2nd place has been running an incredibly strong race so far. He has now picked up a half-second penalty behind Super S2K. He was already 2.6 seconds back and counting. Now Wid is going to get that much closer to him and get a chance in the next couple of laps, these closing laps, to maybe pick up 2nd place points. Shred sits in 4th behind those two, and he hasn't been able to really make much leeway on Wid. Unfortunately, they did pit on the same lap, so not much of a difference between them there. A higher place in fifth place, looking really good actually, despite some drama and getting chased down in that Beetle. He now sits alone with 11 seconds of room ahead of him and 7.3 seconds behind. Corridor manages to hold on to six because Jeffrey got disconnected there. Very lucky for him, but he's got Rusty less than a second behind, and the Truth right behind him, who's already made a huge gap on the Stig behind. I've said behind a million times. He's got a huge gap on the Stig in ninth place. And then rounding out the order, we're looking at Hot Air, who sits in 10th place right now. This race started out great for him on the soft tires, but he wasn't able to make enough progress. And now he's on the slower tire and in the back and has picked up a half-second penalty. I think this is the end of the race for Hot Air.
Unfortunately, I think so too, but I did appreciate his more aggressive strategy by starting on the softs, because he did try very hard on the opening stint, just wasn't able to make enough of a gap and enough of a time save in order to really get a good position going onto the medium stint. As I say that, Rusty behind Corridor, comfortably in the slipstream, makes the move on the back straight, now is leading ahead of Corridor going into the hairpin. As I say that, actually, wait, Ryder and Wade going onto the final lap. Now Wade is in slipstream range, has worse tires than Ryder, but he has one more chance to get second place.
Yeah, he does. It's the last lap. Ryder had to take that penalty, and so Wid is chasing him down now, trying to get that position. I think Super S2K is out of there unless he makes a mistake. He's 3.4 seconds ahead. So still within earshot, honestly, for these two drivers. But Wid is going to want to get those second place points for sure and try to maintain his lead in this championship. But Ryder doing a really good job of keeping him behind. I don't see that he's getting much closer to him. He's in the slip for this back straight here. It's going to chase him down into the hairpin. That will be his last real passing opportunity there. There may be a chance to pass after the hairpin, but only if Ryder's on the wrong line, which shows his nose, flashes his lights. Can he throw Ryder off of the line? No, he cannot throw him off the line. Ryder almost loses the back end coming out of the hairpin there, gathers it up nicely. Wid is that much closer. It will come to the line. Wid around the outside. He's looking for a little bit of slip from that Mercedes-Benz there. Ryder just wants the Benz to be nice and big. Wid pulls out of the slip but can't make it happen. Ryder will take second place. Wid into third. Obviously, Super S2K won it in first place there. Shred will take fourth place, a higher place, about to cross the line in fifth for us here. And then you can't see him in the background yet, but Rusty Maggots. Rusty Maggots just takes sixth place above Corridor. Corridor takes it back. Corridor into sixth place. Rusty into seventh. The Truth into eighth. A drag race to the finish there. Wow, the Stig will take ninth place and Hot Air will take 10th. That was amazing. We just barely caught that. Wow. Back and forth between those two drivers. So down to the line, it was close.
Absolutely, the entire race.
Yeah, the entire race. I mean, it's what we expected. I was like, man, Deep Forest, these drivers know Deep Forest. No one is really going to run away with it here. And sure enough, we didn't see any of that. Man, shout out to Yagami holding on to second place there. I think the win was definitely a possibility for him as well. I think the undercut killed him, and then taking a penalty certainly didn't help either. Whew. Hover, we made it.
We did. That is round 9.
That is round 9. So our podium is a little bit different this time around. We got AMS, Ryder, and Wid. Last podium, rather the sprint race podium, we had Shred on there, but he didn't quite make it this time around. But he's not too far behind in fourth place. Hover, do you want to read the finishing order here for us?
Of course, as Toddy started saying, our winner for the round 9 feature race is Super S2K. Yagami close behind in second place, but almost got caught out by Wid on the line, who takes third. Shred in fourth. Mindful, best of the rest, is now in fifth, finding a lot more pace in his Group 3 than the Corolla. Corridor drag race on the line was able to keep six after Jeffrey disconnected. Rusty almost caught him out, but wasn't able to have enough of an engine power to take six, so he finishes in seventh. True finishing out in eighth, actually fairly close behind too, less than a second. Stig in ninth. Hot Ayer took the gamble by starting on softs, but it just wasn't able to, effectively use them, so he finishes in 10th. Jeffrey, as I said earlier, disconnected. He was running in a strong sixth place before his disconnection.
Yep, shame for Jeffrey. I feel really bad for him. He was running such a race. Like, talk about being tenacious and not giving up. I didn't see Jeff give up a single position easily. He fought back every time. Hate to see that he didn't make it. Shall we join everyone in the interview room, our podium winners?
I think that's a great plan.
All right, let's go talk to them. We'll be right back, folks. All right, we'll start it out with Wid. Wid, our current championship leader, unable to pull out a win this time around. He got second place in the sprint race, now a third place in the feature race, but good points regardless. That race did not look easy for you. Was it kind of a struggle for you?
Sure, I guess. Yeah. That's just kind of how it is when fighting through traffic and stuff. Trying to fight for your line and get a good lap going. But I expected it. I'm also not really that confident on that track, so it's okay. I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, well, you put together a fantastic drive. When I say was that a struggle for you, struggle for you is different for other people. Like, you still ended up on the podium, but I think you had to fight pretty much every step of the way. It was a close race for you, a very physical race, but hey, you pulled it off, and you just continue to build that lead in this championship. Way to go!
Yeah, thanks.
Quick question to you. During the start of the sprint race, what were your thoughts when everyone was just chaos around you, and you were moving up one or two spots due to penalties, but then maybe you went a bit wide and lost one or two spots. What went through your head when you were just constantly in fight mode?
The whole time, I kind of knew how that race was going to go. But I just didn't really know what I was doing wrong on the straights. I didn't know if I was shifting too late or too early, because it just felt like I was constantly losing time just going in a straight line. So that's what was going through my head most of the time. But yeah, other than that, it was just kind of a lot of side by side, a little bit of touching walls, touching cars, all expected.
Yeah, but you were able to navigate it very well with a second place. So congratulations for the great results tonight.
Thanks.
All right, and then next we got Ryder, aka Yagami. Listen, man, that sprint race did not go your way at all. You got to start the feature in first place and held on to it for so long. Were you expecting the undercut when that happened? Looks like Super S2K and Wid pitted. Were you always going to react to where they pitted, or did that catch you out? You're muted. Yeah. Oh, and gone. All right. Well, we'll move on to Super S2K then. Super S2K, 2 wins for you. We'll come back to Yagami in a moment, but 2 wins for you tonight. You got 2 wins last time as well, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So just building up the points. You're up to 6 in the championship now. I don't know where you'll be after tonight. Have you done the math? Is it mathematically possible for you to win this championship?
Yes, I did do the math, and it is mathematically possible, but it's banking on the fact that Wid and Shred don't really do well, which I don't think is going to happen. I think maybe if I keep this form, the gap's just going to close, but I don't really think it's realistic with the caliber of drivers Shred and Wid are.
Yeah, so far they refuse to make it easy for you. Like it's out of spite, I believe, that they just won't let it happen for you. Well, I just wanted to say the Corolla race, the sprint race. I mean, you were tossing that thing around in the S's, and it almost looked like it was too much tossing around. I thought surely those tires would get too hot or something on you, but like no, like you managed to keep them under you. Were you worried at all with Wid chasing you down on that race?
To be honest, no. I knew. I mean, for the qualifying, I mean, I knew I probably had the pace advantage. The only thing is just the close racing. It also happened towards the beginning. I normally slide the car after the really tiny tunnel, and then that caught Shred off guard, and then it built a stack up because for me, I like sliding the car around, kind of try to pick up throttle early. But I kept doing that and it felt fast. I mean, I was able to carry speed and I was able to do it consistently. So, I mean, over the course of the race, I kept building the gap. So I was pretty comfortable at the end there.
Nice. You did fantastic. Another great showing for you this weekend. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Super S2K, I want to ask you, after you overtook Yagami in the second half of the feature race, I noticed that you didn't exactly pull away as much as well you typically do. So I was wondering if you were just trying to play a little bit of a team game there, right? Trying to give a little bit of extra slipstream to Yagami. Like what was the idea there?
Yeah, I was for a bit. I was also trying to manage my tires a little bit. I knew the tires were going to make it to the end, no problem. Just kind of keep the temperature on me, try to set consistent laps. I was helping Yagami for a good amount of time just to kind of keep him away from Wid, and it was working for a little bit. And I believe Yagami had a mistake somewhere, and I didn't really want to let off the gas. So then that's when I started putting a little more effort into my laps. So yeah, trying to play a little bit strategic.
Yeah, nope. We saw that on the stream, and that's exactly what we were thinking. You had a bit of a lead, you could go a little bit faster, but it gained you a little bit more benefits, helping out Ryder and watching over your tires and fuels. So yeah, no, strategic racing, great work tonight. 2 wins in the sprint and the feature, and yeah, hopefully you keep this form going up in the last 3 rounds. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, Ryder, what's up, Yagami? How are you?
What's going on?
Man, I was bringing up the sprint race, how that didn't quite go your way. We understand you had an incident in the very beginning and struggled to recover like really badly in the mid pack. I think you were kind of stuck in a slipstream train, and then anytime you'd make a pass, everyone else was also like super confident and super aggressive. It would make the pass back. After a while there, did you just kind of resign yourself to being in seventh place, hoping that maybe that could translate into something good for you for the future? Or did you really want to be on that podium?
I wanted to be in the podium. It was
course.
kind of hard. I had a bad start. I'm not sure what happened. Well, as you guys can see, it was a bad start from the get-go. And after that, it's just lost 4 places, I believe. Turn 2, it was, pretty tight, especially with those cars sliding around. After that, a few laps later, I'm trying to recover, but I didn't feel comfortable, um, going behind or staying behind someone. And then I made a little bit of mistake, but before that, I think somebody else made a mistake. I got involved, and so I was like, well, let's just keep up. So I think I was overdriving the car without, trying to. At the same time, getting places, but I was overdriving the car, and I think that was my downfall for the sprint. And I did give it out at the end. I think it was Jeffrey who I was battling with, and he did better than I did. He recovered well, and that's what I ended. I wasn't expecting to be in 7th place, not for the sprint, but I wanted to give a good battle the sprint, and so forth for the feature.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sorry it didn't work out for you in the sprint. You obviously made up for it in the feature race. You started that thing in the lead, held on to it for a very long time. In fact, I remember now that's what I was going to ask you originally. In the feature race, you were obviously leading Super S2K and Wid and Shred and everyone behind you. Kind of got into a lot of fighting, in the beginning, and so that gave you a lot of breathing room. But then AMS, Super S2K and Wid pitted, and I was wondering if they caught you out with the undercut, or were you just following your own plan, or were you always planning on reacting to them? What was going through your head there?
I think I was waiting to react when they pitted, because obviously I figured with the 1.6 second lead from me and S2K, I figured maybe if I stayed behind him, but I got like, I mean, he kind of undercut a lot of time because he was just 3/10 or so behind me after I pitted. So I was trying to keep that gap. Obviously, he had a better race pace. Obviously, he passed me, and then I was trying to keep the slipstream. I wasn't thinking too much if he had to wait for me for the slip against Wood, but I was trying to do as much the same as S2K for the sprint, so it worked out. And then I had a little bit of a track limits penalty, and I think that said it all. It was basically a last lap battle between Wood and I with a good car he had. So
I saw, yeah, you made that AMG GT very, very wide in the last couple of corners there, and held on to it just barely. Congratulations. Love to see you do well in these races. I know it's been an up and down season for you, but the fact that you've continued to fight definitely makes you one of my favorite drivers in the league right now.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's competitive, and like S2K said, really good caliber guys. That makes it even fun. So congrats to all, and good race today, actually.
Congratulations, Yagami. Tati asked all the questions I wanted to ask you, so I don't have much for you. But yeah, I mean, do you have any other final thoughts? What are your thoughts on the team championship, if you don't mind?
Well, we had to get together to be in the same pace. Some of the other guys have different cars, obviously different setups, so different planning, different. Every car has a different tire wear, fuel mapping, and all that good stuff. So we have to get together in order to keep that same pace. That's the only thing that our team is lacking a little bit, but overall, I think we're doing great. We just got to keep up the same pace and look for less mistakes and keep on going, head down.
Absolutely, that's a wonderful way to look at it. And yeah, congratulations to you tonight. Maybe not the result you want in the sprint race, but P2 in the feature, I think, is a very good makeup. So congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Really appreciate you. Cannot wait to see you all in the next races. Just 3 more after this round. So it's getting tight. It's getting serious. So y'all go home, rest, or you are home rather, but you know what I mean. Rest and practice up. We'll see you soon.
Very quickly, though, Toddy, we want to thank our sponsor one more time, Trails and Construction, custom construction. Well, I just said that. If you have any sort of contracting needs or construction needs, hit them up. They've been a long-time partner with Sector 7, and we want to thank them one more time for sponsoring the series.
Yes, we do. And thank you to everyone in chat, everyone that's been watching the stream all night long with us. We really appreciate you for keeping it active, for talking to us and coming through. And of course, everyone who's going to watch the video on demand after this, we appreciate you as well. Please don't forget to join us in a couple of weeks here for the next race, which will take place at Spa, which we absolutely love. We'll be in the GR3s and we'll be in the GR2. So perfect cars for this track. That takes place on November 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on McNaughty's channel.
Exactly. It'll be both in the rain, and then one last shout out to McNaughty, more specifically his NRL season. The next round, round 3 of it, should be happening this coming Friday and Saturday. So if you're subscribed to the channel, keep an eye out for those 2 streams.
Yes, yes. All right. Good night from me. Good night from Hover, right?
Night night. Yep.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.